welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be recording my labor and delivery video. Don't mind me, I look dead, I know. I don't want to put makeup on, but this is the only time I had to record because I am a mom now. So I literally don't have time. Don't mind the towel, it looks kind of ghetto. Ooh, sorry. But yeah, so. And this is just my experience, and I hope you guys get information. And if you want more information, comment down below or feel free to DM me, Snapchat me, whatever. I'll be down to hear you out and answer any questions. So it all happened in Laredo, you know, and I was like 38 and a half weeks, and but I was measuring ahead. So I asked my doctor, I was like, hey, can I travel to Laredo? And she was just like, yeah, it's fine, as long as there is a hospital there. And I was like, yeah, there is. So she's like, that should be fine. And I was like, okay. And everybody told me not to go to Laredo because I was gonna deliver, I was gonna have my baby, and I was just like, no, I want to go to Thanksgiving. This is my favorite holiday. I'm gonna eat my ham, I'm gonna eat my green beans and all that stuff. I'm going, no one could stop me. So as I'm going, whatever, Thanksgiving passes, so then it's like 12, like midnight from Thanksgiving going to the 27th, and my boyfriend is very drunk and he falls asleep. So we're just there in the room, me and his sister, and we're just on TikTok, right? And then I start having contractions, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm having contractions. Like, is this real? Is this not? Because my Braxton Hicks, whatever, and my contractions literally felt the same, and I really didn't know the difference. And I'd hear the doctor and she's like, go to hospital if this and this happens, and I would just be like, okay, whatever. But I have pregnancy brain, and I would forget. So I really didn't know, and people were like, you're gonna know when you're in labor. And honestly, I didn't even know I was going in labor. Like, I was just having contractions. They felt the same thing to me, but they were coming back to back. So that's why I was just like, I'm gonna go. And also, the contractions hurt your booty, you know. And I was just like, girl, I need to go to the hospital. So I started waking up my boyfriend, and I remind you, he was still drunk. So he woke up and he was just like talking gibberish. I hope that's how you say it. Anyway, not me trying to use big words on here. That's never gonna happen again. Oopsie. But yeah, he started talking nonsense, and I was like, dude, I need to go to the hospital right now. Like, I'm having bad contractions. And he didn't want to get up because he was drunk. So I was just like there in the bed, like, what should I do? And me and his sister were plotting, like, who's gonna take us? Because obviously I can't drive because I'm going in labor, and she can't drive because she's 11 or 12. And we're just there like, who do we wake up or whatever? So then she goes, wakes up my mother-in-law, and my mother-in-law is like, oh my god, like, it's time. And I was like, yeah, it's time. So she starts waking up my boyfriend. My boyfriend finally gets up, and he was like, hold up, before we go to the hospital, can you wait? And I was like, excuse me, you want me to wait for you? Like, I'm having a baby. Like, I'm not gonna tell this baby, like, stop, don't come out yet, don't have contractions. But obviously I waited. With my contractions, they weren't that bad. So I was just walking around the house holding my stomach, and I was just like, oh my god, because he had to go shower. He's like, first let me shower, let me get coffee, let me drink water. He was sitting down, he's like, you know what, can you wait till 3 in the morning? And I was like, are you serious? And he was like, yeah, like, I don't feel good. And I was like, oh my god. So I did wait till 3 in the morning, and then we're going to the hospital, and I'm having contractions. They're not that bad, like, I could take them, whatever. So we get to the hospital. I had the worst experience there ever. Worst experience. Never ever again am I gonna go to the hospital. It's supposed to be the best hospital in Laredo. Nurses were bad, everything was bad. Bad experience. So anyways, we're there, and my boyfriend can't come in the room because I have to do a COVID test. I do the COVID test, whatever comes back negative, he finally comes in, and they start checking me, right? And she was like, oh, you're 37 centimeters dilated. And I was like, okay, like, what's happening next? And she was like, well, I'm gonna leave here for an hour, and if your contractions keep on coming, then you're gonna go to labor, but now we're gonna have to send you home. And I was like, home? Girl, I'm 3 centimeters dilated. What do you mean you're gonna send me home? So whatever. So we're there for an hour. I start contracting, whatever, you know what I mean. And then I go up 4 centimeters. So I'm like, okay, good. So they start putting me on IV. They take out blood. They start getting me comfortable there, and I was just like, are you serious? And literally my labor, I was literally there for 1 day, like giving birth, if that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah, I was there, right? And then whatever, time passes, I'm still contractioning. Ew, does that even sound like good? Ew, correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah. So I'm getting contractions, and literally I don't feel them. Like, I'm like, girl, I don't feel, and I don't even have the epidural, so I'm like, I don't even feel anything. Like, yeah, they felt like cramps. It's like, girls, guys won't understand this. If you're watching and you're a guy, sorry, you don't understand this, but I know my girls, some of my girls out there do understand this. But it's like when you're on your period and you feel like you gotta take a whole painkiller medicine. Literally, that's how contractions feel to me. But I have a high pain tolerance, so literally it didn't feel bad to me, because literally when I was there, I didn't feel contractions. Like, I'd be getting one and I would tell my boyfriend like, oh, am I getting one? Because I couldn't lift up and see, and he'd be like, oh my god, you're getting contractions. Because literally be 20, and then I would go up to 130, 140, and I was just there like, yeah, I'm getting one. Like, oh. And or I'd be like, ow, like a little discomfort, but whatever. So I'm there. One of the questions was if I got my water broken, and no, I did not get, well, my water, no, what did she say? She said, hold up, not me forgetting. She said, if my water broke, and how did it feel? Honestly, girl, said if my water broke. My water didn't break. They actually broke my water 6 centimeters when I was 6 centimeters. Also, I got the epidural when I was 6 centimeters dilated. I gave birth naturally as in vagina, not C-section, but also not naturally as in medicine, because I did get the epidural. My pain tolerance, you know, they have a 1 to 10. My pain tolerance was always at 3, so it didn't really hurt. Labor didn't hurt. I guess the worst part is after labor, and I'll get to that right now. But 6 centimeters I led, right? And then she was like, oh, you're taking kind of long, and I was just like, okay. And most people say don't get the epidural because it slows down labor, but honestly, it did not even slow down my labor. I was 6 centimeters later. I was 6 centimeters dilated, so I was like, you know what, I have 4 more to go, right? So then I took a nap, a 10-minute nap, literally a 10-minute nap, and I started feeling hot, and I was like, oh my god, I feel hot. And then I started feeling my toes, and I was like, oh my god, like, when I give birth, I'm gonna feel this little girl coming out. And I called the nurse, and I was like, you know what, you need to come in this room right now because I can't feel my epidural, and I'm feeling hot. So then she comes and she's like, what's wrong? And I tell her again, and she checks me, and she's like, oh my god, you're bleeding and you're already 10 centimeters dilated, it's time to push. And I was like, what, already? And I wasn't even scared like to push, because I wanted this little girl out. Like, she was a pain. So the doctor came, and she was like, oh, it's time to push. So they put my feet up, you know, put me together. There was one doctor, one nurse, me and my boyfriend, right? And with the epidural, some people, I guess you're supposed to feel your body, but I didn't even feel my body. I couldn't walk. I couldn't lift myself up. I couldn't move my feet. Like, I literally couldn't move. So then she was like, you know what, we're gonna do some practice pushes. And I was just like, okay. So then I started doing practice pushes, and she wouldn't tell me anything. Like, she was just looking at me, and I was like, girl, am I close, or what's going on? Like, where's the baby, what's going on, and all this stuff. And she wouldn't tell me anything. She was just looking at me like that, and I was like, what's happening? So then she was like, you know what, turn around, doggy style. She didn't say that, but I did. Okay, no, that's not funny. No, because a lot of people, not a lot of people, not that I know of, but that's literally one of the positions, and I shouldn't be laughing at that, but whatever, because I was about to give birth in that position, so I shouldn't be laughing at that. But anyways, turn me around doggy style. You know, the nurses were being kind of rude, because she was like, what do you call this position? And I was just like, girl, I'm trying to give birth, no one cares what position it's called. And she's like, I call it doggy style. And I was like, anyways, back to my birth, girl. So I'm there, dude, I had a fear. I had a fear. I don't care, make fun of me, whatever, but I'm gonna say this because it happens to a lot of people, and I don't care. I'm gonna put out my experience. So I really don't care if it's out there, because I feel like we need to bring awareness. Oh my god, I sound so smart when I say that, but we need to bring awareness to this thing. And I feel like, don't go into labor having a fear, because if you have a fear, it will happen. It will happen, because that happened to me. So I'm doggy style, right? And she's like, okay, we're gonna practice pushes. And I was like, okay. So I'm pushing, right? And then I get a sniff of something, and I literally, in my head, I was like, oh my god, it smells like shit. Can I say that on here? I'm gonna get drafted. I mean, demonetized on here. Oh my god, it smells like poop. And then my boyfriend comes up to me, and he starts laughing, and I look, and I'm like, dude, I'm trying to give birth, like, don't be laughing right now. And he's like, you're pooping. And I was just like, but you know, it's normal during labor. The nurses didn't care, the doctor didn't care, they just wanted the baby out. So yeah, I started pooping, whatever, but that means it's good, because you're pushing the right way, right? So then they turn me back around, and they're pushing, I'm pushing again, and it only took me 5 pushes to get my baby out. I felt like I was gonna die, dude. Like, they had to put me on oxygen. I don't know if they put everybody on oxygen, but they put me on oxygen because I literally was gonna die. Like, I was pushing and nobody was helping me except my boyfriend and well, not the doctor. My boyfriend was literally grabbing my foot, and then he was like, push baby, push, and I'm just there like pushing, and I'm looking at him like, I'm gonna die, because literally, like, they make you hold your breath. I was gonna die. I thought I was gonna die, and the doctor didn't tell me anything. Plus, my baby's umbilical cord was wrapped around her neck, so whatever. So she's there, and she's like, oh my god, we see the head. And my boyfriend was like just looking, and then the head finally comes out, I guess, with the umbilical cord, and she's like explaining to the nurse and my boyfriend, and they're just like there, and she's like, I'm gonna leave it there, her head there. And I was like, girl, what do you mean you're gonna leave her head there? Like, get her out. Like, this is our mission, is to get her out. Like, I hear, like, we need to get her out. So I start pushing, and she was like, hold up, you need to get a contraction to push. And I was just like, girl, I'm not waiting, I'm pushing. So I started pushing, and then finally the shoulders feel weird. They feel like when you're constipated and you go to the restroom, and you're like, after you poop, and you're just like, oh my god, I just left like 15 pounds there. Literally, that's how it feels. Like, it feels so weird. So then I pushed, Scarlett came out, and literally my stomach just went flat, like from a big round stomach to flat. And I was just like, oh my god. And I was swearing. I'm not gonna say it because I'm gonna get drafted on here. And then the placenta, because I looked down, like, they had they put Scarlett on me, whatever, and they went to go like change her and clean her, whatever. So then I look more down, like I want to see what's going on. So I look down and I feel like the doctor, like half of her arm was still in there and she was pushing, and I was like, girl, what? But then she moved and the placenta came out and my stomach went down. So whatever. The question says, were you scared? Was it as bad as you thought? Ew. Anyways, was I scared? No, I was not scared, because I feel like watching TikTok and everything and people watching delivery videos, I was like, oh my god, like that's so scary, like could it be like that bad? And I would always hear the negatives and never like positive stuff, and I was like, that can't be, like it can't be. So no, I was always positive. I always tried to stay positive, because I felt like if I was gonna be negative, something bad was gonna happen, and it was gonna just switch up my whole mood, and I was gonna get scared. I was gonna go to emergency C-section. Like, you never know, people could die. And I was like, I'm not gonna do this. Like, I'm gonna go labor. I'm gonna be positive. I'm gonna think like anything could happen and everything will happen. So I'm always like, in my head I was like, anything could happen. So if they tell me something, I need to go, okay, and I need to think about this and that, like what are the cons, what are the pros from this. So I was always positive during my labor. And was it as bad as I thought? No, it was not as bad as I thought. Does it hurt? No, it does not hurt, because you literally don't feel anything with that epidural. The only thing that did hurt was after you give birth, when they have to push your stomach, is just to make sure your uterus is working and you don't have any blood clots or anything still inside of you. That did hurt. So the nurse goes pressing on your stomach real hard, and literally I was crying. That's the only time I was crying. Labor delivery was not crying, but when she pushed me, I was crying. I was holding her hand. I was like, please, like, stop it, let me go. And she was like, I'm so sorry, I have to do this. And I was just crying. So yeah, that hurt. She's like, overall, did you enjoy it? Overall, the experience, did you enjoy it? Being pregnant, did not enjoy it. Labor delivery, did not enjoy it either, because it's a hospital and people are in and out, stuff and that. Nurses are bad. I also had a horrible experience at doctor's hospital. So but seeing my baby, being with my baby, love that. That was only the best part. And going home. When you did it feel weird when your water broke? No, my water didn't break. They broke my water. How many times did you push? I pushed 5 times. How long were you in labor? 1 day. 1 day, but I was 2 days in postpartum. On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad did it hurt? Like I said, it was 3, so it really didn't hurt as much. But I'm gonna end the video here already. But if you do have any questions, or if you're confused, or you want some more information, because there's a lot of information that they ask you and stuff, but I really don't want to go that deep into it because it's not that deep. But if you're a first-time mom like me, or if you're gonna go into labor in a few weeks, days, whatever, if you have any questions, please comment down below, or feel free to text me, send me a DM, whatever. I will respond. I'm not gonna respond because I know there's a lot of information, and I wish I had someone to talk to. I know there's a lot of people, but I was just nervous. I didn't want to be like those first time moms, like, oh my god. But no, do ask questions if you like. I'll answer anything if you guys need. If you guys need someone to talk to, obviously I'm here. Even after giving birth, if you don't feel good, you know, it takes a while to get back to yourself, literally. Feel free to message me. I will not how do you say it, discourage? I don't know if that's the word to use, but I will not ignore you. Like, I know how it feels. I mean, I didn't go through it, but I know how it feels because I've seen videos. I know a lot of people who did go through and going through it, because, you know, postpartum depression does last till 6 months or sometimes forever. So feel free to message me and I'll be here for you. And if you are going to labor, good luck. And if you already had your baby, congrats. Thanks for watching.